Love is all very nice, Darlene. But what does he really want? Your pecan pies or your nice fat bank balance? What on earth? Oh, not you, dear. I think there's a dead animal in my wisteria. Now, if Albert is only after sex, you have my blessing. I mean, you're pushing 70. How many more rides are left on the merry-go-round?
Homeowner's name is Katerina Blundell. Victim dropped in on her unexpectedly. She's in her 20s, wearing a maid's uniform, no ID.
Miss Blundell have a housekeeper?
No, lives alone.
Does she recognize the victim from the neighborhood?
I doubt it. Victim has no face. From the lividity, she's been dead a while.
Why'd you call us?
Looks like a suicide, but somebody worked her over pretty good. There's bruising on her breasts, buttocks, thighs. Maybe a rape and toss. And some of these are old. This stuff didn't just happen once. Looks like she fell from there.
Trollica Tower, millionaire heaven.
So she lands head first, breaks the glass, falls onto the plants which hold her for a while until Katerina goes poking around. She's a maid, probably doesn't speak much English, alone in a foreign country. She was raped. It's not surprising she didn't call the cops.
So she takes the high dive. Oh, she was pushed.
Mr. Payson.
Yeah.
SVU, Detective Stabler, my partner, Detective Benson. Now, the doorman says that you run security for the Lammerly family.
Yeah, SVU, what's this about?
We've got a jumper. Looks like she fell from the penthouse.
You should check all the other apartments?
Well, the doorman says that the windows don't open wide enough to let a child out.
Well, why sex crimes interested in a suicide?
We believe that she was assaulted before she fell. You did some time on the job?
Put in my 20th at 2-9. When this happened?
Sometime over the weekend.
No one's been in the penthouse from Friday morning till Sunday night when Mrs. Lammerly came home.
From where?
Connecticut. The rest of the family's still up there. I drove Mrs. L back early to take in a concert. There's no sign of a break-in.
Even still, we'd like to take a look around.
Like I said, nobody's been here since Friday morning.
Well, we could come back with a warrant and a couple of TV crews if you'd like.
Just let me warn the old lady.
Thank you.
You think she fell from our balcony? It seems likely. Oh, the poor soul. Do you know who she is?
We're working on that. She was wearing a housekeeper's uniform, gray dress, white apron.
But all our help had the weekend off.
We'll need names and addresses.
Of course. Tom will get them for you.
There's our crime scene.
There's no sign of a struggle here or inside.
I still don't understand how she could have got out here.
We're gonna need to take a look at the building security camera tapes.
Ma'am, please don't touch the railing. I'm sorry. Is this where she fell? Looks like it. We're gonna have to have a crime scene unit come up here and check things out. Of course.
I think it's Anna.
I can't believe she'd do this.
Who's Anna, Mr. Lammerly?
Anna Rivera. She worked a month for us, and then we learned that she'd lied about her legal status. Last week, we had to let her go.
Do you always check the immigration status of your staff?
We lead public lives, Detective. We have to be able to withstand scrutiny.
You have any idea why Anna would kill herself?
She was very upset about losing the job. She begged us not to fire her, but I honestly never thought she'd do this. The severance was very generous, 3 months' salary.
That'll put a dent in the bank account.
Did Anna usually wear shoes like this to work?
I have no idea. I don't inspect the staff's shoes.
She's wearing stiletto heels and expensive underwear. I don't think she came up to polish the credenza.
What are you trying to say, Detective?
Whoever abused Anna made a habit of it. Her body showed signs of repeated violent sex.
So what does that got to do with me?
Anna came to this apartment to die, Mr. Lammerly. Why do you think she did that?
You can't honestly think I have anything to do with this.
How well did your son know her? Where was he Saturday night?
In Connecticut. We all were. You barge in here, no warrant, no nothing, making wild accusations.
Douglas, please. Don't shout. Police have to do their job.
Do you know where Anna used to live?
My son will get you the address.
Detectives? Something you should see.
Prince!
It's like the same prints on the balcony door.
Is she alone?
As far as I can tell, it's only the one set.
What about inside?
Nothing. Place is immaculate, but hey, Granny looks like a clean freak.
So our victim gets attacked someplace else but comes here to kill herself?
She came straight out here. She climbs over the edge. She holds onto the railing.
Smearing suggests she didn't let go right away.
She changed her mind. She tried to pull herself up.
Wasn't strong enough.
Anna's address.
Hi. Can we help you?
My name is Drew Lamberley. Susie called me. I think I should make a statement.
About what?
Carmen Trancoso? It's my fault she's dead. Carmen and I went out for about a month. It was intense. So intense, it scared me. I broke up with her.
When did you break up?
About 10 days ago. She took it bad. Kept coming to the apartment, following me around.
When was the last time you talked to her, Drew?
Saturday. She called me, begged me to see her. I said I was with my family in the country. She became hysterical, said she'd make me sorry if I didn't come over. So I told her to get a life, and I hung up. If I'd just gone there, been kind to her, she might still be alive.
What time did she call you?
Around 5:30, I think.
So Anna Rivera isn't dead then?
No, she's not. One of the other maids just heard from her. Turns out she's in Miami.
Why'd she run and leave everything behind?
Well, she didn't. Her aunt was really sick, and she had to go see her.
Aunt is sick. I'm missing something here. Drew, why did your dad say the dead girl was Anna? You got all teary-eyed and everything.
Well, the girl on the tape looks just like Anna. She's wearing a maid's uniform.
Well, so is Carmen. Why is that?
She knew she couldn't get into the building any other way. I had told the doorman not to let her in.
Carmen got by him dressed as a maid. She get a copy of your key?
Yes, which she must have taken from me while I was sleeping and duped it.
You guys spent the night together a lot, right?
Well, I told you, it was a very intense relationship.
You call beating the crap out of her intense? Huh? You little prick, you did this to her.
Yes, I did do this, but she wanted me to.
No woman wants this.
Carmen did. This was her thing.
So you beat and rape her because it was her thing.
I never raped her. She liked it. It was never enough, though. She wanted more.
She wanted more of what?
She wanted me to... She wanted me to choke her until she blacked out, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't. That's when I knew it was too much. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry.
Bradley High Prom gives us a date, May 16th, 97. With the 2-9 now. Yeah. All right, we'll be in touch, Captain. Anything?
There's no 61.
You mean no one filed a complaint?
Oh, they filed a complaint, but the 61's disappeared.
Looks like the Lamberleys are sweeping up after Drew again.
But this time they missed some dirt. One of the cops filled out an aided card.
They're not kept in the same place as the 61s.
Nope, card gives the assault victim's name as a Miss Jenny White, 24. She refused medical assistance, but she did give us an address.
I'm Camilla Hartnett. Can I help you?
Yeah, Detective Benson, this is Detective Stabler, SVU. We'd like to speak to a Miss Jenny White. Jenny gave this address and a complaint that she made to the police.
When?
About 5 years ago. She was assaulted at a high school prom.
It's taken you this long to respond?
Well, we have some new information.
I'm sorry. I've lived here for 20 years and I don't know a Jenny White.
You know him?
No. Oh, Frank, hi. See you tonight around 6. Bye. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, thank you so much. This is a dead end.
Maybe.
I think we need to talk to the cops to the state.
Let me check this out. I think one of Miss Hartnell's girls just decided not to come home. Place is a brothel.
Oh, you're still here.
Yeah, and we're gonna stay here until you start telling us the truth.
I have told you the truth.
Then your memory's not serving you correctly. Jenny White works for you, and if you don't tell us where she is, we're gonna have Vice tear this place apart.
Do you really think I'm afraid of Vice? All I need to do is make one phone call.
Great. Why don't you go ahead and do that then?
Excuse me. Well, where do you think you're
All
going?
right, listen up. NYPD, this is a raid.
Run up against
Let's
this
go.
wall.
You, all of you, out of here.
right
Come
there.
on.
Please
Let's go.
don't do this. Don't. I'll tell you. Jenny White stopped working here 3 years ago.
Where is she?
Married to Angus Rochester, one of the richest men in Manhattan. And I think you'll find she's similarly disinclined to remember the past.
Excuse me, Jennifer White?
I'm sorry, my name's Rochester.
Prom night? Radley High School, remember?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure you do. We spoke to your former employer, Mrs. Hartnell.
Drew Lamberley ring a bell? We believe he raped another young woman who recently killed herself.
Jen!
Lady, we don't care who you were or who you are. Just yes or no. Did Drew Lamberley rape you?
Yes, he raped me. But if you ask me anything in front of my husband, I will deny it.
Oh, who's that? Hi, hon.
Stabler? Yeah.
So now Drew gets away with it again.
Maybe Drew's luck just ran out.
Travel time, we know about Jenny, the camera.
I don't follow you. Drew calls Carmen, tells her to come over to his penthouse. Let's try to work things out. And he tells her to dress as a maid so the doorman doesn't recognize her.
Yeah, Carmen comes over. She still loves Drew, but they fight. So he rapes her and pushes her off the balcony. That's when the cover-ups begin. Word from the local precinct is the jumper has no face. Cover-up number 1, girl's in a maid's uniform. Why not call her Anne Rivera?
And it gets moved out, the place gets clean so the DNA doesn't mess up the story.
But the dumb old cops figure out it's Carmen anyway.
Cover-up number 2. Carmen's a nut and a whore who offs herself because she loses her rich boyfriend.
But who could have fixed all this? Somebody who knows how the police think, how they work. You.
I gotta hand it to you guys. SVU. I thought you were just the panty police, but you're right up there.
Up where?
Dreamland. Carmen was a mixed-up kid who committed suicide. Look at the evidence, you dumb bastards.
Evidence you manufactured. You cut 10 seconds off that security tape. How many more cover-ups you think this clown's got?
I don't have to listen to this.
You've been off the job so long, you forgot the law.
Yeah, what law?
The ones you broke. Hindering a police investigation. Tampering with evidence.
Make yourself at home.
What's going on?
We have a warrant to search Drew's room.
What on earth for?
Kid's got taste.
Detectives, can I help you?
We're helping ourselves, thanks.
Elliot. Gil made an impression.
Drew Lamberley, turn around. Turn around. You're under arrest for the murder of Carmen Trincoso. The right to remain silent. If you give up that right, anything you say can only be used against you in a court of law.
Okay, want a deal?
Getting cold feet, Lorna.
Hardly. Man, too. He does 5 years in a psychiatric institution.
Your client inflicts a terrifying death on a young woman, and you want him to get counseling? No. Murder, too. He does 25 years.
No thanks. The result of Drew's psych eval. Here's your notice. Not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect.
Diminished capacity caused by brutalization at the hands of his father? You've got to be joking.
See if the jury laughs.
Well, it's an impressive tactic. Brutalization is part of criminologist Lonnie Athens' violentization theory.
Another lame excuse for criminal behavior?
Not necessarily. Athens believes that violent environment and example are the cause of all violent criminal acts.
What, no interest in genetics or brain chemistry?
No. Athens interviewed 100 convicted violent criminals and found that they were all abused as children, all saw family members brutalized, and were all taught to use extreme violence in response to stressful and threatening situations.
We found nothing that even hints Drew was abused.
How am I going to fight this?
By using Drew's own words. Defense claims that Drew's father abused him, but in his polygraph interview with me, Drew said that his relationship with his father was one of mutual indifference.
Was Drew's childhood happy?
It was comfortable, not happy.
Why not?
He always had to succeed. At school, at sports, at everything.
And if he didn't?
He was punished.
By whom? By whom, Mrs. Lamberley?
His father, my son, Douglas.
Did his mother not protect him?
Grace tried, But she was terrified of Douglas. That's why she turned to alcohol. Several years ago, she checked herself into a clinic in Bermuda, and Drew hasn't seen her since.
Did Douglas ever beat Drew?
Yes. After a flunked test or a lost game, Douglas said failure reflected badly on the family, made Drew less of a man.
Your Honor, I am showing the witness Defense Exhibit 3. Mrs. Lammerly, do you recognize this x-ray?
Drew's broken arm. He got in a fight at a hockey game, and when he came home, Douglas threw him down the stairs.
Because he had been in a fight?
Because he didn't win the fight.
What happened the next fight that Drew was in?
He had to be pulled off the other boy. He nearly killed him.
So he had learned the violent lesson his father had taught him?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mrs. Lammerly, you don't seem to have a problem exposing your own son in court.
I am mortified. Douglas is my only son. I failed him. Don't mock me for trying to redeem myself with my grandson.
You say that your son often abused Drew, but in his interviews with the police, Drew never mentioned that. In fact, Drew said...
Your Honor, the interview to which the ADA refers was with a psychiatrist. It's privileged.
Mr. Lammerly volunteered to do the interview, Your Honor. He was talking to an FBI psychiatrist in a police precinct.
A psychiatrist is a psychiatrist. My client had the expectation of privacy.
I'm sorry, Ms. Cabot. The interview is out.
You say that Douglas taught Drew violence. Did he also teach him to rape?
He showed him how to abuse women. Drew's mother will testify to that.
Unfortunately, she's in Bermuda. So do you have some other examples?
He taught him to think that women can be bought.
So does the advertising industry. The fact is that Douglas didn't teach Drew to rape, did he? Drew learned that all on his own.
No. From the age of 13, Douglas took my grandson to have sexual encounters with prostitutes. Buy a woman, you can do anything you want with her.
Mrs. Lammerly assassinates her son and turns her grandson into the victim. I couldn't put a dent in her.
Jury's buying this brutalization crap, huh?
So far, the evidence supports it. Drew got into fights. He beat up Jenny White. Maybe his dad did brutalize him.
You don't believe that?
If Drew was a gang kid with no dad and a mother who was on crack, we wouldn't blame them for using an environment defense.
I do blame his environment. He's a spoiled rich kid whose family helps him get away with rape and murder. What can we do, Alex?
Well, the defense is going to use violentization to say that Drew was not responsible for his actions. Carmen threatens him, and Drew's learned response is violence. So in a rush of rage, he pushes her off the roof. If we could prove that there were other cases where Drew acted violently without provocation, then we might have a chance.
But who'll testify against him?
I told Carmen that it was over. She got really upset, ran out on the balcony. And I tried to calm her, but she screamed at me, hit me. And then something inside just snapped.
You saw red?
Yes. She kept on screaming and kicking at me, and I pushed her against the railing, and I just pushed her until she fell.
Drew, did you mean to kill her?
No. God, no.
Remind us again, Mr. Lammerly. How did you break your arm?
I told you my dad did it.
Really? Because I have affidavits from your former headmaster and the teacher who took you to the ER, and they could swear that you did break your arm playing hockey. They remember because they were afraid your parents were going to sue.
Your Honor, we haven't seen any of these.
It's the People's 23, People's 24.
Go on, Miss Cabot.
So tell us again, Mr. Lammerly, how did you break your arm? Your father didn't do it. He didn't touch you, did he?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Mr. Lammerly, do you recognize this woman?
No, I don't.
Her name is Jennifer White.
And I have a sworn affidavit from her as well, the People's 25, that states that you attacked and raped her without provocation.
Your Honor.
Which expressly contradicts your violentization defense.
Your Honor.
Jury will disregard the last statement. Miss Cabot, watch your step.
Your Honor, I'm trying to establish that Mr. Lammerly's entire defense is a lie.
Then stick to the facts and evidence. Do not try to introduce new material.
You testified that your father took you to a brothel. Is that true?
Yes.
May I remind you that you are under oath?
I told you it was him.
Who took you, Mr. Lammerly? Stop it! Enough! That's enough! Oh!
Your Honor, we need a doctor.
Order!
Please, there is
Order in the
doctor.
court!
How could you do such a thing, you bitch?
It's all your fault. You're gonna pay for this. You're gonna pay for this. You can trust me on that. Get off of me. Get off of me. Settle down.